collect a whopping 172 billion every year from Kabaza operators. Find out why. And in other news, government launches booklet that seeks to incentivize agriculture commercialization and diversification. We have these and other stories. Please stay right there. Various schools across the country on internship. Isaac Salima reports.
The teachers were in January this year posted in various districts where they are conducting teaching practicals and are supposed to get monthly upkeep allowances of 20,000 waja. However, according to President of the Teachers who are under Initial Primary Teacher Education Impute 18 program, Chance Manda, most of them are yet to receive anything. She said it is community members who have been supporting them.
Like other schools, they are being helped by the community. They feel sorry for them. We have tried to report to the principal, but he is not helping us at all. It affects them. You can just imagine, you can't teach learners the whole day from 7:30 to 2:30 without eating anything. So it is affecting them, especially when they are teaching learners.
Manda further added that some teachers have been abandoning their duties in order to look for money to take care of themselves. Blantyre Teachers Training College Principal Stanley Kwerenge said he is aware of the problem. He said that he has been getting calls from the students on the issue. He, however, said that it is the Ministry of Finance directly into the students' bank accounts and that the school's duty is just to compile the names and send to the ministry. Ministry of Finance spokesperson Williams Banda was yet to respond to our questionnaire. Education rights activist Benedicto Kondowe said authorities should address the matter.
It will definitely affect them because it will take away their focus, especially where upkeep is not provided, because the same upkeep that makes them in a position to access necessities for their day-to-day life. Our expectation is that the government will do the needful to make sure that the upkeep allowance is provided.
The teacher students are expected to finish their practicals later this month.
The non-governmental organization Gender Coordination Network says it is impressed with the interest shown by some female members of Malawi Congress Party in contesting in various top leadership positions at the party's elective convention next month. For instance, Water and Sanitation Minister Abidamia is eyeing the party's vice presidency. Pempero Malimba reports.
Mia is expected to stand as MCP's second vice president. She follows the footsteps of Chadinka Chitanjankoma, who recently showed interest to stand as MCP Secretary General, while other reports indicate that Speaker of Parliament Catherine Goranhala is expected to stand as the party's first vice president. Mia said her candidature is premised on her commitment to support the party's vision in developing the country.
As a woman with a proven track record of leadership and accomplishment, I'm confident in my ability to contribute meaningfully to the party's vision and to serve the people effectively.
Commenting on the development, NGO GCN Malawi Board Chairperson Mag Katwera Banda said they are happy to note that MCP has started responding to their cause.
It's interesting to showing that MCP leading, because they're the first ones anyway to hold the convention. So I'm also calling upon all political parties to ensure that they are putting in place mechanisms of ensuring that women are feeling safe enough, they are feeling confident enough to participate in intra-party elections, but also in the general elections that are coming.
Political and governance analyst George Chaima said addressing bottlenecks associated with the political campaign can help to promote more women in leadership positions. MCP is expected to hold its elective convention from August 8 to 10, 2024.
Now, Secretary to Treasury Bechani Cherini claims the government is failing to collect 172 billion kwacha from Kabaza operators who are allegedly threatening politicians with votes. The country has close to 3 million Kabaza operators. Cherini was speaking in Lilongwe during the National Debt Conference organized by Malawi Economic Justice Network with funding from Afrodad. He has since challenged civil society organizations to discuss revenue maximization rather than debts. According to Cherini, Malawi's debt is rising because the country cannot finance the ever-growing budgetary needs. Our reporter, Taonga Sabola, speaks to Chereni.
When we devise a design, for example, that is going to help us to collect the taxes, people come in and they politicize every aspect of any new tax. It gets to be politicized. It is this politicizing which we really don't want to like. Like I said, the late former Vice President, Dr. Saulos Chilima, said that voters do not have to threaten politicians with their vote. This is that element which is very important. Let's all think about the importance of paying taxes, and when it comes to corruption or resources being abused, there are entities which have been put in place to make sure that resources are not being abused. Let them do their job also. In that way, then, this country can begin to talk about self-sufficiency. Otherwise, it will continue to be rhetoric.
There are still ongoing prayers by religious groups seeking God's intervention on the challenges haunting the nation. Publicity Secretary for Religious Leaders Organization, Brian Nyirenda, says the nation is going through a lot. He was speaking in Lilongwe after holding nationwide prayers for Malawi and its leadership. Esna Tembo has compiled this report, which is being read in our studios by Malenga Chienda.
According to Nyirenda, the country has been hit by a number of calamities in recent months, such as drought, accidents, and deaths of important people. He also warned against spreading false and negative information about Malawi. President of the country, religious leaders from different faith groups took part in the prayers.
Almost 1,000 farming households from villages under traditional authority Mlumbe in Bzomba have started benefiting from the 3.4 billion kwacha Mlowoka solar-powered irrigation scheme project. The 138-hectare scheme operating under the Mlowoka Water Users Association was established by the Malawi government through the Department of Irrigation in January this year. Luele Nimpasa has a report read by Sambanda Jr.
President for Mlowoka Water Users Association, Asante Ndomondo, expressed optimism about the future. She said the ability to produce food 3 times a year not only ensures a stable food supply for the community, but also opens up economic opportunities for other farmers. Chairperson of the Mlowoka Village Development Committee, Christopher Ipani, said farmers are now able to cultivate various crops for food and sell through irrigation. He said by prioritizing rural development and investing in resilient agricultural practices, the government is laying the groundwork for a more prosperous and self-sufficient nation. Wezi Chiumia, communication manager for FISID Limited Company, said the project represents a model of sustainable development and community empowerment that addresses the root causes of poverty and food insecurity.
The climate has changed quite a lot. The rainfalls are not as they used to be back then. But now, for us to be a food secure nation, there is a need to do massive investments in irrigation. Not just another sort of irrigation, but solar-powered irrigation, because it's sustainable. The farming communities themselves can sort of manage them without having to worry about the bills that come with the grid connection.
The project received financial funding from the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, through the Program for Rural Irrigation Development, PRIDE.
In other news, agriculture authorities have launched a booklet that provides incentives and insights for the much-touted agriculture diversification and commercialization in the country. Again, the booklet enlightens people on the tax incentives available in the sector. Wezi Gausi has more.
The Malawi 2063 and its first 10-year implementation plan identifies agriculture productivity and commercialization as one of the key pillars for transforming the economy to achieve lower middle income status by 2030. Speaking at the launch in Lero on Wednesday, Minister of Agriculture, Sam Kawale, says this booklet serves as a beacon guiding investors through the fertile grounds of government incentives designed to cultivate success and yield abundant returns across various agro-enterprises. He says through the initiatives, farmers will have a provision of tax relief.
So since this is a living document, we'll continue to give all of you an opportunity to know where you can access financing.
A lot of Malawians, they go into farming or agribusiness without knowing what they can benefit from government programs. So we thought we need to bring everything together after working together with Minister of Finance, Minister of Trade and Agriculture to find out what have we given people but they don't know.
Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Chief Economist Wazona Legomeka, says the tax incentives were developed by the ministry, but they are being implemented by the Malawi Revenue Authority.
This booklet, the main idea, the main benefit of it is that people now will know if they want anything agriculture incentive, they can easily get to this booklet and know what is obtainable.
Ntendere Cooperatives Chairperson PCJL says the incentives would lessen the financial burden that farmers have. The Minister of Agriculture has since said will translate the booklet into local languages and will need support from all stakeholders to take it to the rural areas.
You're watching news at 8 on Malawi's #1 television station, Times. We'll be back after this short break.
Open. Click register to register. Enter your membership number. The default membership number has 9 digits. If you don't succeed, try 11 digits. Choose your name, password, and OTP destination. Remember, when adding your mobile number, 265, not plus 265. You can also register with your email address easily and keep updated with your MAZM account right in the palm of your hand. For more information, email infodesk@mazm.mw or visit www.mazm.mw.
Some of the best start from the streets of Africa. This is not just a game. It's a feeling within us. It's expressive. It's a passion. Play for the fun, play for the thrill, play responsibly. Proudly African, bet with the best, Premier Bet.
We are back with the latest lineup from Betway. Betway's front three starts strong with cash out and swipe bet. Plus, you can boost your sports bet with win boost.
And pick up any penny. Pali freebie Friday. Smart pigs. Build our bet. Omwe atamanga ngataka furu.
They've also got their back to odds boost and Betway starts. You always get way more with Betway.
Ando, yama kocha
Gone out to the country's institutions of higher learning to strive for operations beyond minimum standards. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mangani Katundu, said this during the graduation ceremony for Exploits University in Lilongwe. Brenda Kayo has more in this report.
Katundu said the ministry will intensify audits to ensure that universities adhere to credit hiring standards. He further said the institutions should empower students with necessary skills that would prepare them for the future. Katundu further warned universities to avoid graduating students from uncredited programs.
We are very happy that a lot of private institutions are coming into the education sector. However, we want to make sure that we want to encourage and insist that they should follow all the regulations and the expectations in terms of what the National Council for Higher Education stipulates for accreditation.
In his remarks, Express University President Desmond Bikoko said the university is committed to enhance the quality of education so as to make sure that graduates are well prepared for their next life endeavors.
What has happened now, I think it has taken us longer to now invite chair to come in and finalize the process of accreditation. But we are now ready. I think we have done the needful internally. We have engaged stakeholders from various industries. Now we believe we are ready to get the remaining programs accredited. There are few. I think they are the ones that we were inherited from Riverton University.
A total of 635 students graduated at the university.
SOS Children's Village has underscored the importance of collaboration in raising children into responsible citizens. It describes community members, chiefs and other stakeholders as key to the process. Ngabu, SOS Program Director Michael Nyoni, made the call at Madungu Primary School in Chikwawa at the launch of the campaign dubbed No Child Should Grow Up Alone. Gift Sitima has more in this report read by Richard Chirombo.
Human capital development is cited as one of the enablers for Malawi 2063 vision. However, Nyoni says this goal may not be realized if parental guidance and education systems are not supportive.
I guess we would like to reach all the communities, all the villages in Tia and Gabon. And that's why we have involved the CBOs that we are working with and all traditional leaders in Ngabum who are going to carry out the messages to all the communities. We will also continue saying the same or talking about the same with the communities. But if it comes from their fellow community members, maybe it makes more sense than coming from us as they are workers within the communities.
Chikwawa District Council Chief Executive Officer Greyston Alindiamao acknowledges that the district has a big number of children who lack parental care.
For the children to grow up nicely, they will require families that are stable. Most of the families nowadays are not necessarily stable as such. There are a lot of pressures that come from economy and all that. Because of these particular pressures, children are the victims. Because whenever parents are quarreling, it is the child who suffers.
Henry Machemba, who is the national coordinator for NGO Coalition on Child Rights, says climate change is also fueling the challenge. Hence, there is a need for the authorities to render the necessary support to vulnerable populations.
When disasters strike, for example, it's floods or maybe dry spells, these effects reduce the capacity of families and parents in terms of caregiving, in terms of the economic capacity to provide for their children and the children that are under their care. So, yes, the theme focuses on us as players, including government, to support and capacitate families that have been affected by the effects of climate change so that their capacities can be recovered as soon as possible and they should be able to provide for their children.
The No Child Should Grow Up Alone campaign was launched in May this year by Gender Minister Jean Sendeza.
In business news, Nico Holdings Company posted a profit of 59.1 billion kwacha in the year ended December 31st, 2023. Its managing director Vizenge Kumwenda says this represents a 60% increase from the 2022 financial year. Rebecca Chimjeka has more in this report read by Fale Banda.
Speaking during a stakeholder engagement held on Tuesday in Lilongwe, Kumwenda says this is a landmark financial achievement for the year 2023. He says the financial results have enabled the company to share substantial dividends with its stakeholders.
2023 was very good. Our profitability grew by 60%, and on the back of that, we're able to increase our dividend to our shareholders by 67%, which is way above inflation. and also, as a reflection that the performance was good, our share price grew or increased from I think 60 kwacha per share to 150 kwacha per share.
Stakeholder engagement in Lilongwe was for Nico Group to outline its future plans and celebrate its achievements with the stakeholders. Meanwhile, the company has announced its preparations to relocate its head office to Lilongwe, with Kumwenda expressing optimism about the future.
And now, the body of Presidential Advisor on Youth and Arts, iconic musician Lucius Banda, will be laid to rest today at Sosola village in Baraka district. President Lazarus Chakwera and his vice Michael Usi are expected to attend the burial ceremony of Banda, who is highly regarded as one of the country's greatest musicians. Banda died at a hospital in South Africa where he was receiving medical treatment. Times Television and Times Radio will bring you live coverage of the ceremony later in the day. And that's the news for now, but another look at the headlines before we go. Some student teachers frustrated with the government's alleged delays in paying their upkeep allowances. Treasury claims it is failing to collect a whopping 172 billion kwacha every year from Kabaza operators. And government launches booklet that seeks incentive agriculture commercialization and diversification. You can get more on these and other stories by visiting www.times.mw, liking and following our Facebook page, which is Times 360 Malawi. You can X at Times 360 Malawi, and you can subscribe to 1895 by dialing *1895#. My name is Wonder Msisya, and shortly we'll be crossing over to Balaka, where Yanko and Tabi are standing by for us to give us a live coverage of a funeral ceremony for Lucius Banda. Bye for now.